I'm Father Matthew Hawkins of the Diocese of Pittsburgh. My parents, like many African Americans during the Civil Rights Movement of the 1960s, believed in both ecumenical and interfaith collaboration. I grew up in a Black working class neighborhood, and my father's side of the family were African Methodist Episcopal. My mother's side were Baptists. I had friends who were Jewish, although they were not African American, and also Muslim. As I got older, I attended a Catholic elementary school and a Quaker high school. The overall environment was an environment that encouraged us to appreciate many different religious traditions. In the Black community, we understood two things about religion. We understood that our neighborhood had limited resources, so we could not waste time quibbling over which religion was providing what recreational facilities and social services. The adults in the neighborhood were pleased that anyone, regardless of faith tradition, was providing their children with structured recreational programs where the children would be exposed to good role models and would be taught self-respect, literacy, human dignity, and to value our community. The other thing we understood about religion was that our own family members often belonged to different faith traditions. So it would be better to try to understand one another rather than demonizing those who practiced a different form of religious worship. There was a lot of fluidity within the historically Black Protestant tradition. We understood the importance of being firmly grounded in our own faith, but also of being open to learning about other faiths and other religious polities. It seems clear to me even today that there is a lot of common ground between people of faith. Catholics and Muslims in the United States in the 21st century, for example, are trying to figure out how to practice their faith in a secular environment and how we can help others to appreciate a sense of the sacred and to respect our religious practices. We are faced with similar challenges in terms of how to pass on our faith to our children when we know that they are being enticed by a commercial culture that emphasizes radical individualism, materialism, and moral relativism. Before entering the priesthood, I worked in the field of community economic development in distressed neighborhoods in Pittsburgh. In that work, I saw how people of faith from many different traditions played a role in strengthening the social fabric of our communities. Some institutions provided schooling and others encouraged the growth of small businesses. One of the churches in our neighborhood opened a community credit union. Everyone had a role to play that would both expressed and transcended our religious differences. I have found that it is especially helpful to share with each other our spiritual practices, such as how we fast and how we pray. When we focus on these dimensions of our faith and not on the things that will divide us, this goes a long way toward dispelling mutual misunderstanding and stereotypes. Ecumenical and interfaith cooperation has always been essential for survival in African American communities, while those who have inflamed sectarian rivalry have usually ended up harming our communities. I'm Father Matthew Hawkins of the Diocese of Pittsburgh.